Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, honorable judges, respected teachers, and all my dear friends. I am Nadisa Maharani from SMP BPI 1 Bandung. Today, I'd like to talk about someone who's changed the way I see life. In other words, I'd like to talk about my role model. He's not a celebrity or even a famous figure, but to me, he's a hero. Can you guess who he is? Correct, he is my father. Every night before I go to sleep, my dad leans down and whispers softly, "You'll never walk alone." At first, I thought that was just a football slogan because, yes, he's a big Liverpool fan. But one day I asked him what that really meant, and he told me, "It means no matter how hard life gets, you'll never face it alone, because love, faith, courage, and God will always be by your side." And I realized those weren't just bedtime words. And as I grew older, I began to understand why he said that. My dad didn't have an easy life. He wanted to be an ambassador, but life had other plans. Still, he never gave up. He always persevered and he never complained. And he guided me to carry those values within me. So when I'd lost my first storytelling competition, I felt like I'd let him down. But he just smiled and said, "Failing once doesn't mean you fall forever. It means you learn how to walk better. And I'll always walk beside you." That moment changed how I saw failure, not as an ending, but as a step to improving. And I'm never alone on that journey. And I noticed he'd been teaching me that lesson all along. When I was younger and he'd ask me a question, whenever I responded, he'd simply say, "Interesting, but what's another answer?" At first, it really annoyed me because I just wanted him to tell me the right one. But now I understand why he said that. He wanted me to always see things from different sides and to know there is another way. That's why, even now, when life feels hard, I can still hear his voice saying, "Think, Nadisa, what's another way?" That voice became the quiet compass that guides my life. So now, whenever a friend feels lost or alone, I automatically tell them, "You are not alone." And that's when I figured out, being inspired by a role model isn't about copying them. It's about continuing their values, turning their love into something that touches others. Like Michael Jackson once sang, "You are not alone, I am here with you." That line reminds me so much of my father. His love may be quiet, but it's always there. Dad, thank you for always walking beside me, even when I thought I was walking alone. You are, and you always will be, my role model. You may not have become the ambassador of our country, but you've become the ambassador of my heart. And to everyone listening here today, if someone has ever helped you, made you feel less alone, or simply made you smile, don't forget to thank them. Because sometimes a simple thank you can mean more than 8,000 words. I am Nadisa Maharani. Have a good day, and may you never walk alone. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.